So
Yeah,
I
I
was
didn't.
looking at the flight blades kit.
Yeah.
I really like the maneuvering one right now because it does offer like a little bit of a better option. You know, and it is nice that CIG gifted us the which one was it? The
I know. That's what I was
Gladius
thinking.
flight blades
I
kit for
yeah, I know.
the sponsorship. You know, that was really cool. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I just don't get. I don't get why people are so mad about it. Honestly, I really think the whole thing is a good idea. But
I think it's blown out of proportion. Honestly, it's crazy. And just looking at some of these
oh,
spectrum posts. Oh shit!
no, no. Shh. Hold on. Hey guys.
Hey guys. Yeah, about that. Hello and welcome to Griefers Pub. Tonight we're going to be discussing Pledge Store exclusives, the blades, and how CIG still seems to struggle between budget and game balance. Welcome in, guys. So before we deep dive too much into this, let's check out CIG's best functioning gameplay loop, the Pledge Store. Can we switch over? Oh, it's not pushing, is it?
It is pushing. I see it.
Oh yeah, here. Okay, so the best functioning gameplay loop in the game. So this is what a lot of the
We're totally
recent...
not sponsored by this at all.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
You can pick this one up using our promo code for $99.99. Okay.
Yeah,
So
$99.99. All proceeds will go to Griefers Pub and Associates.
So this has been kind of like the pushback that we've been hearing about a little bit in the community, with blades being exclusive to just the Pledge Store, and how a lot of people have been, you know, saying, "Hey, this is pay to win. Like, why are you doing this?" Right? And so I'm looking at this. When I first see this, the first thing I see here, hang on, let's go to this one. This Gladius pack. We're not sponsored by this, and we're not.
No, we're not. We're just trolling, obviously. I pushed it early by accident.
You can use my referral code though if you want.
I promise you that they certainly, because I'm not gonna have many good things to say. I don't think so. It's like I don't think they would sponsor that. I feel like they should do. Hold on, can I just throw this out there? They should be like, they should do the opposite. You know how they say there's no such thing as bad publicity? Like, they should pay the people who say messed up things, because that gets more attention. So I think we should get paid sponsorship. Anyway, go ahead.
I gotta be honest, the first thing I saw when I saw this kit was the black paint. I was like, man, that looks good.
That does look good.
So
Yeah, I like how it's
the first
red
thought
like that.
I had. First thing I did was like, I went over to paints. I was like, you know what? If it's there, I gotta. I looked up Aegis. I was like, there's got to be like a Gladius paint, right? There's got to be a Gladius just by itself. I don't want to buy the blades because...
Nope.
No.
The paint is locked behind the paywall for the blade.
It is pretty much a paywall like paint right there. If you're going for just the paint, if you're going for the actual like blade itself, and you're like, you know what? I'm one of those players that wants to wait until it's actually in the game.
Yeah.
And pick it up from like, you know, some kind of like PvE mission or like a location in game.
Yeah.
That really cool. I would be all for that.
I talked about, I remember saying for a long time, I can't believe they didn't have a black paint for the Gladius to begin with.
Yeah. I think they've been listening to certain parts of the community. They're just like, hey, this is a great idea. Let's capitalize on this.
It is. And you know what? It realistically isn't like actually black. It's really just like powder coat. It looks like gray.
To a degree, yeah. And it has like this camo black on the top too. But again, yeah, I think that's where a lot of the contention with this whole topic comes into mind is, one, it's not separable. Two, it's pay gated. Three, it's not available in game.
Did you say it's bigoted?
It's what?
Would you say it's bigoted?
Pay gated.
Oh, pay gated. Oh, he said bigoted. I was like, why? Whose feelings did it hurt? All right.
All right. So this is the stuff that they released. So introducing the flight blades, shape your ship's behavior. This is by Freja. Hi everyone. We're introducing a new component designed to support horizontal progression of ships and give you the opportunity to take tuning into your own hands. Meet the new flight blades. What are the flight blades?
Sounds a little ironic when it's, by the way, for it to, not ironic, but odd for them to say to take tuning into your own hands, considering it's realistically just presets and you're not doing any tuning.
Yeah.
But hopefully
it's
that
not
changes.
a lot of customization.
Yeah.
In simple terms, flight blades are components that go into your ship's computer ports to adjust its flight behavior in two ways currently. You have speed, increase your straight line top speed, and then maneuverability, which improves your ship handling. While using blades can boost one area, it comes with a trade off, as you'll see a reduction in another to balance things out. Hey, I'm fine with that. That's cool. This isn't
Mm.
about chasing new like raw updates. It's about making meaningful changes and further dialing in your loadout to reflect your playstyle. Whether you're prioritizing speed or maneuverability, flight blades offer real player choice, allowing you to fine tune the behavior of your ship to align with how you fly, fight, and operate in the verse.
But there's just two. But there's just two options at this point.
Yeah, it's limited because it looks like they're trying to push it out. There was one question. Here it is. Will flight blades be available to purchase from in-game stores? Yes, flight blades will become available in in-game stores for Alpha United Earth credits this summer.
Is that what it stands for?
It's good.
United Earth Credits?
Yeah,
How did
that's
I
what
not know that? I think it
UEC.
was. I always said Alpha UEC. I never even realized.
Alpha UEC. I mean, it's the same
Yeah,
thing, pretty much.
paints are nice. The paints are nice.
Um,
Just
so have you had a chance to mess with the flight blades? I messed with them a little bit, and I still think the base flight blade for like say the Gladius, it's the only one I've really messed with, is a little bit better. I would say maybe the maneuvering one is fairly decent, but the one thing I noticed is it's not available in AC. It's only in PU that you can actually apply them at the moment. So if you're doing like competitive play in AC, no option there, which is okay with me. But again, I think it's the way they like applied it into the actual market, you know, where it was just like, hey guys, it's not available right away. But I mean, that is pretty much through and through CIG's, current sales model, right? Is sales exclusive on the Play
yeah.
Store, and
Well,
then
no,
a little bit of time later, in game, right?
no, no. If
No,
I understand correctly, that's only for ships. They do that.
for ships, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not their. That hasn't been their model for everything, right? So, and I
Sure about that.
has it been?
This isn't the first time they've done this where they've like pay gated some stuff. Like say,
Yeah,
good
but they
example
pay
would be
gated things that weren't
clothing
going to
items that are
affect
eventually going to be
the
out.
gameplay, though. So, so something like the flight blades, where it actually changes the way the ship, moves, and it could potentially give you an advantage over somebody else if you're in a certain scenario, whatever. That
What about the Carno rifle being like a meta rifle that I can just buy instead of having loot somewhere else? Is that much different than what we're seeing with this? That's what I'm wondering. I'm not defending it by any means because I think it's scummy as hell. But I think it's very similar. Like this isn't the first time we've seen this instance, right?
I just, it's surprising to me that they would do something like this and not expect any backlash.
Yeah, I understand. I
Like
see what you're saying.
I feel like they should. Okay. So I feel like what they did was they pushed us through because I thought it was a great idea to be able to make some extra money, right? Because they're trying to raise funding like always, right?
They're trying to fund, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Which
So I mean,
I get.
it's funding, whatever. But they did. I feel like they did this. They knew people weren't going to be very happy about it, but it's like they didn't comprehend the fact of how like. It was to me it was just like this move where it was like they've officially became what they started off to like almost be fighting against. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where it was like you were supporting the small company, now it's just this conglomerate of whatever.
it's a
And
corporate, right? Yeah,
yeah, so it just felt very EA Sports or whatever. Not EA Sports, but Electronic Arts. I think they do that a lot, or is it whatever? You know what I mean? So
I know what
but
you mean.
it just to me it just seems shocking that they did that and didn't expect the amount of backlash that they got. Now, do you have real quick? Do you have on that Spectrum post the downvotes or baby
Do
bottles or
you
whatever
want to
it
see
might
the
be? Do
ratio? Yeah, we could do that. Give
yeah, I
me a
want to see
second
the
here.
ratio.
Let me.
Is this? Am I
It's
jumping too far off?
no. This is good. So we have 6,444 downvotes. How many upvotes do we have on this one?
So how ironic is it that
Oh
all of a
man,
sudden a bug came out where there was like 5 million downvotes or something? Did you see that? You didn't
I
see
don't
that?
know if I saw that one.
there was a bug or whatever, and what happened was, look at so on this, yeah, it's it. On this
Hold on
one,
one sec.
it was like the down votes was like over 5 million or something. They were like, oh, we're
That's
aware of
insane.
a we're aware of a bug that's been an issue, and I'm like, that's awfully ironic. It's like the bug even knew, It was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is bullshit. This is time to present myself. Anyway,
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm also looking at this. So if we look at the stats for, like, say, the Gladius, for an example, let me find it again. So we've got the base one right here, and if you look at the stats, not too far off. The boosting speeds for better speed, 20, not that much more.
well, whoa,
In
hold
fact,
on. What are we looking at here? So,
so we have base, better handling. These are the blades. So this is the base blade, which is currently in the
yeah.
Gladius. And then when you replace it, this is what you get for the specs. I'm just going to highlight those if it's easier to see now.
Yeah. This sucks. I don't. This whole flight blade thing. I'm like, I get the tuning, but like,
I
where's the
get what they're
effect
trying to
from
go
like
for, but
adding modules and adding weight and stuff like that? Like that should have an effect.
that
I don't
should.
know.
I agree.
This is very like, oh, we don't really have the ability to build it this way, and we're gonna go for like a cheap, patch for it. It feels
It
like
feels like a substitute,
it
as
does.
most every other gameplay loop
And
is currently, and
and
that's the
it's not
biggest
as
issue I have.
complex as I hoped it would be.
Hmm. I agree.
Now, is it? Do they have plans for tuning, like, and to enable like engineers to tune in the future to change things like this? I wonder.
Without getting into theory crafting, I believe there was something like that. They were discussing tier
That's so
one,
too.
2, 3, 4, and 5 for, like, ship engineering. I
Yeah, I
forget what
thought
it
so
was. It
too.
was during CitizenCon. I
Yeah,
think it was last year, maybe the year before that. They
yeah,
discussed that with the crafting systems, everything else. I could find the video if you want, but it's probably somewhere deep on YouTube right now.
yeah.
Um, and
I thought.
again, this is all for funding, but does it really impact the gameplay that much in the first place? Not really. The better handling one is maybe the only one that would make it a little bit better, but only by a slight bit, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm looking at this like the two, like, you're
Well,
sacrificing roll, you're sacrificing yaw for the speed, but you have a little bit increased on each of those. So I don't know. I think
the,
it's still just the fact that it's a thing that exists is what gets under people's skin, you know?
jeez. There's literally no way they didn't anticipate this response after the Atlas debacle.
I agree, yeah. Yeah.
So, but they did it anyway. And
They
what
did
was
it
the
anyways because,
yeah.
well, I mean, the question is why. Um, do you think?
They thought they would the backlash would be less severe than the money they would make. Does that make sense?
Mhm. But why is
So
there, like, such a frantic push for the monetization in the first place? That's the biggest concern.
yeah.
Is it because they're desperate for, like, new funding? That's what it seems like. I mean, look at what has also happened on the pledge store. I mean, we're seeing the Idris available in game
Mm,
now,
yeah.
well before its promised time. It
Yeah.
makes you kind of wonder: are they
Well,
running out of
well,
money? You know,
well, let's be fair
I'm kind
about
of okay
that.
with it being out.
It's before its promised time in the sense of it was supposed to come out with the game, right? With Squadron 42.
Hmm.
But
But it's also been
realistically,
delayed.
it's like way after its promised time because of how long it's been taking for Squadron 42 to get completed. I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, I feel like at this point in time, because the amount of time it's taken for them to even complete everything and get it all together, nothing
Mhm.
is hands off ananymore, because
It
I
seems like
mean
that.
they haven't delivered anything. They've been
No.
delivering, well, outside of bugs, they've been delivering, eye candy and stuff, right? But there's still no real gameplay,
Yeah, I
realistically.
mean, like we were just saying, this isn't the first time we've seen this kind of problem, though, where
Yeah.
we have these store exclusive pledges which impact gameplay. Good example, ATLS coming out last fall being the best way to, like, tractor beam from, like, point A to point B with, like, a single item. It's a click, it's a different feature. It doesn't function the way the rest of them do. So that was another time that they got some backlash, and I, it's not the first time we've heard, the community push back, but maybe not this, like, vocally, right?
Hmm.
So it's interesting.
I mean, the
And then, I
community
mean,
is
if
like
you
pissed
look at
off
it,
by
like
it.
like I was saying, it's not the first time either, because we've also had, like, what? We've had subscriber armor and weapons being, like, the grenade launchers on the sub store, so that could, like, significantly impact gameplay. things like that. And the gear wasn't always there. That's a new thing that started, I think, a few years ago. During like one of the Invictuses, they started adding some of the like the one kit that comes to mind is the Arden one, the like black one, not paints. Went to the wrong one. Give me a sec. They really need to like make a better website.
it's it's in development.
So like,
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like this is the first set that I remember that was
I have
on
the,
aside from like the sub store. You
I
know,
bought the Archangel set with the sniper rifle. I like it, but I bought it with credits I already had, not like new money. But yeah, I thought it was cool.
yeah.
Wow, that rhyme
Robertson
one too is
says,
pretty cool.
I'm going to read this really quick. I don't feel that it's more pay to win than selling ships, but what's not cool is that it's a new mechanic everyone would want to try playing the game and not buying it at first.
Yeah.
What concerns me more is the gap between the quality of their marketing versus the quality of the game experience. The time they took to repair some little bugs that can ruin the experience for the month.
Well, why don't we use bounty hunting as an example? It's not working still.
Anyway.
It is still not working.
It's bad.
And it's I think it's a very major part of the game that people have been unable to play for a long time now.
A long time. I mean, yourself
But
included, right?
yeah, I don't. I mean, it's not. It isn't realistically pay to win because I don't think the difference looking
Pay
at the
for advantage,
stats.
though, I would say.
Yeah,
It's
I
still
mean,
kind of the same thing.
but what is pay to win, right? I mean, you gotta really define it too, because like
F7A
technically
versus standard
nothing is really
F7
pay to win. I don't think. What the F7 versus what?
versus like the F7C standard. Pay to advantage is what I
Yeah,
would
pay to
kind of label
advantage.
it as,
Yeah.
but it's hard to say. If there's no winning, no one wins
Yeah.
because it's a
Okay.
sandbox game. You can't define it as pay to win, right? It's not like objective based. Like you're not like
Yeah.
playing War Thunder or it's session based, right?
It's only
And you know
pay.
you're paying to win. It's only pay. Yeah. We are checking out the latest gameplay loop, the pledge store. So the best working one. Let me just say it.
It's the one that gets bugs fixed immediately.
Immediately. Absolutely. So here's a really good question then. This is kind of going into our main topic. How could CIG fund their project without sacrificing the integrity and reputation of their own game? When I bring up the game Star Citizen to friends, they bring up, oh, that game.
Scam Citizen.
Store Citizen. And it has a reputation from like people that aren't really like plugged into the community for a reason too, you know? Like it's not super surprising.
Yeah.
And I mean they have their reasons for doing a lot of the funding differences. Oh, what's going on here?
Here, let me just in case something comes up that you don't want
it's on mine. It's on mine. We're good. Go ahead. You can switch back. We're good. So back in we're seeing the funding from this is from 2012 all the way up to 2025. This is from the CCU app .game. Here, let me just bring that up. So if you guys want to check it out and kind of follow along, you can.
I'm going to read that real quick. I don't know. I don't think pay to win is some ethereal, abstract through a thought. Even players, one spends money to advantage, one does not. Better chances to win
That's really
via
not that
money.
complicated.
In
I
my
do agree.
opinion only. In my opinion, anyway. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, here's a better question. How much have they made in the last couple of days with the sales from the Idris and maybe even these if people are actually picking up the Blade war bonds? Right now, looking at this, what is that? 2,700,000 some thousand, or yeah, 2.7 mil right here in the first day. That's the 15th.
Do we have a
right
comparison to the last year's Invictus?
Yeah, we do. That's going to be on this page. So last year's Invictus. This is going to be kind of that time frame right about here. This is Invictus.
Well, okay. That goes. Is that what the color? Okay. The color is May. Okay.
Yep.
So they had to make a huge. They had to make up for a huge fall off, I suppose, for the previous month of last year. But this year, look at the difference. I mean, so
they're doing a lot better this year. Yeah,
they are doing a lot better this year. And I mean, what does that tell you though? Like, what is it? So even with them doing a lot better financially, as far as what you physically see for what they're making,
yep.
Why did they feel it was necessary to do something like this?
I don't know.
See, one thing that is not a.
I think it feels like a sense of desperation for funding. You know, like I know. Okay, so looking at this, I
Yeah.
actually do have something really quick that I want to show off. So CIG Imperium Group, whatever, CIG acquires Turbulent. This is the Montreal offices.
Yeah.
And then this is, I think it was like 2 mil for the entire studio for that one and funding that. I mean, this is the third party group that would be, you know, kind of like outsourcing a lot of their like development in the past. And that was back in like 2023. And this is actually one of the first years that they really struggled with like finances from what I understood. There was a few things that kind of like came to like play there. It was the cost of CitizenCon, more active development in the UK, and then the push to really just finish Squadron 42, which they're still feeling. I mean, look at like 2024. They
What year
did
was that?
CitizenCon.
2022?
That was 2023.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then we have 2024. That was the last like in-person CitizenCon because it was very expensive. They're not putting it on this year, I think, for that exact reason because they can't afford it. But that could just be
because
like
probably the amount of money that they pull in as a result of that marketing probably told them not to do it,
it probably
and
wasn't like profitable. Yeah,
kind of sucks. Because I still think it's kind of cool doing the whole CitizenCon thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, but they must be spending too much money on it, and maybe I think so. I think what's happening here, there's a couple of things. By the way, I like that $20 for a small change in one ship. Like, yeah, that is
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Panda
one
brings.
ship.
Or who was it? That was Milk.
Yeah,
Like that is the price of an Aurora, right?
yeah. Oh no, I think it was like $40, isn't it? But either way,
No, $20.
I'm thinking of the game package.
ES
But
version.
here's the thing
Yeah.
though. Like, yeah, it shouldn't be just one ship. It should be flight blades. It should be interchangeable or something. I don't know, but it should be able to apply across a multitude of ships at least, or if not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Different the tunings can go into every ship, whatever. So that's crazy. Like, imagine spending that multiple of times, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, all right, outside of that, I'm sorry, I just had to comment
No,
on that.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This
So
is really good conversation. Yeah.
yeah, the question is, it's like, why do they feel the need to make a decision like that? Especially since looking at this, it looks like they're just doing better in general, right? Now
It
we
looks like they're
do.
on track, but maybe it is the like financial choices that they're making with some of the stuff. Like we had the Super Hornet. What was that back in April, or was that was March, I believe, right?
Well, we're what, halfway through May?
Halfway
Yeah,
through May right now.
and they, oh geez, so this Invictus probably won't do as well, but maybe this is part of the reason.
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm not buying no damn Idris. Was it, how much is that? 1,200 or something like that? How much is the Idris? Oh, I lost you.
Yeah.
Did I lose you?
Let me,
there you
let me
are.
check.
Okay.
No, you didn't lose me. Let's go check. The Idris is for Warbond that much. For store credit, 1,900.
Oh my God. Yeah, like I ain't
Goddamn.
spending that. So what did
No.
they release for the spenders who are not spending, hundreds to thousands?
Oh, like other ships? So what they have going on right now is they've got the Gray Cat, like some little single seater with an enclosed top.
So
They
a
also
niche
have like the
type of
Anvil.
player is gonna get that. Okay.
Maybe.
Anvil.
We've got a drop ship coming out from Anvil, which is pretty much like a resale of the Valk, but it has enough space to fit like a tank in the back now.
How much does a dropship go for? Hundreds.
I don't know yet. It hasn't released yet, so we're gonna wait on that one.
So it's not even out yet. That don't count.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's not a whole lot.
There's,
I feel like it's not a whole lot of lower end spenders, right? They get a they can't just like rely on a bunch of whales to spend freaking $1,900 on a freaking ship.
I think that's the biggest issue is that there's not a lot of like new players coming in. It's mostly just existing player base supporting the game.
And they
that's
released a
probably why
ship
they're trying
that
to push this more and more.
yeah, they released a ship that a ton of people bought years ago.
Oh, here. I forgot about this one. The weapon kit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
like,
the bomb kits or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And then bomb kits. Yep, those were another thing that came out,
which is kind of cool. I'm not against it.
2 packs. But why shouldn't like are they going to start selling NDBs on the website next? Don't give them ideas. Like, are we going to have like the like grade A components are being sold next? Asgard is the one I was thinking of. Thank you very much, Serenity. Appreciate that. But yeah, more and more gets worse. But I mean, this isn't the first time they've sold like modularity as an option. So the Retaliator was one. There's like other ships out there, Bob ships, whatever you want to call them. So it's not the first time they've done like weird things with funding. It's just the first time that they've pushed one where it feels like there's very much like more vocal pushback from the community, right?
Which is good. I'm glad. But it does
Good, yeah.
it does worry me because it's like, where are they at with Squadron 42? What's going on? Because they made another release date of 2026, right? There was also something I was watching where now apparently their release date in 2026 is also matching the release date of GTA 6, which is going to have a huge effect on the sales because that's like a long awaited game by a lot of people. Now, my only argument
trying
is
to like get any competition for, like trying to get any kind of release during that time, you're going to be crowded over.
yeah,
That's crazy.
for real.
Yeah.
But my only argument to that is that GTA 6 is definitely a different, I think, crowd than somebody who's going to play Star Citizen also.
Right.
The GTA 6 crowd, I think, is going to be a little younger because I don't have any interest in it. I'm not going to lie. I don't give a crap about GTA. I lost interest in my 20s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And GTA 5 has been running rampant for like the last 15 years. I don't even know how long, but it's been a long time. And a lot of people that play this are actually like late 20s, early 30s, late 40s. You know what I mean? So like we got an older crowd, and they're probably more interested in something that has a little more depth. Although there's probably not a whole lot of depth in Star Citizen realistically, but that's a concern still. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna want to release Squadron 42 during the release of a long-awaited game, like that's like a powerhouse that has probably infinite marketing potential. You know?
Yeah, no kidding. Bring this back up. So this is again just a stretch goals page. I'm just bringing that up so I have a proper screen share here. So with that being said, we were talking about the community response. I could just hop on Twitter, look at some of the like backlog posts from like either Friday or Thursday when things were initially dropping. You had like major names from their own like content creator program that were looking at this and saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
So
it feels desperate.
It does feel desperate. So the whole community response for the most part has been mostly negative. I mean, we can read a couple of them.
Oh, that's a good point. So the people that may actually play Squadron 42, like the big streamers, because I'll tell you right now, people like Asmongold, for example, I know that he said it multiple times. When this thing's released, I'm gonna check it out. Like they're gonna be focused more on something like GTA 6, probably. Maybe. I don't know. So
Maybe,
yeah, that's a good point. What were you saying? I'm sorry. I keep
No, it's okay. Do you want to check out some Spectrum posts and see what other people have been trying to say?
Yeah. I love Spectrum.
Biggest words that I'm going to regret tonight. Hey, you want to go check out Spectrum?
Yeah. I love being on the Spectrum.
So this one is by Shin. This is pay to win FOMO, undermining trust in long-term sabotage of MMOs. Concern, it can be earned in game. That's a line we hear every time new pledge store items are introduced. FPS gear, ships, racks, blades. But when you look closer, it becomes clear this isn't about what's available, it's about how the game is structured. Many modern MMOs are leaning into pay-to-win mechanics. Let's break down the core problems, show how they affect real gameplay, and look at studios and companies that build trust without these tactics. Core problems: compromise game design, intentional friction loops, slow travel times. We already see that a couple times. Repetitive mechanics, monotony that wears players down over time. Unnatural grind walls. Yes, we have a lot of that in the game. And then in-game events pushed by monetization. This is a big one. That's one that we see all the time in Star Citizen. And along with other games. Power disparity and community division. Wealth does not equal scale or unfair PvP/PvE advantage. I'm not agreeing with that one. That's maybe just a little bit of a skill issue.
It is a skill issue. Because I'll tell you right now, PvP, well, I'll just use the Gladius, obviously. PvP Dogfighter with no damn flight blade is, or even with the speed flight blade, is going to be able to outmaneuver a PvE player with a flight blade. Fighting blade, whatever, maneuvering blade.
Man, you're going to have to like, you know what you're going to have to do is challenge Montoya to a 1v1, see what he does.
When does the backstrafe blade come out?
That's a good question.
It comes out with
the guy's so fucking good at Star Citizen.
Oh my god, it's not master modes anymore. It's let's see. Damn it. God.
Just a man flying backwards up in the air, just like
I don't remember what they call it. I don't know what they call it anymore. It's freaking something modes, whatever. With the next flight
Okay.
model.
And so the cost of it's earnable in game, they break it down. X player plays, real amount of money. We're seeing that all the time. A, B, and Z, all the way to Z. Player Y doesn't. They shortcut most, uh, so they must grind hours for each of those. We've seen that with a few items. The one that comes to mind is the Wicklow, whatever dumbass looking armor they had a while ago. I'm not. Let me see if I can find it. It's similar to not this. Gear. This it had like the Corsair and the one with the glowing armor bits and shit like that. Kind of made me think of that. I'll bring up the page. I don't know if they still have it on there, but it's a limited access one, and they look pretty bad.
I'm a bit curious of what their funding model is going to look like when Squadron 42 releases.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Me
are
too.
we
When
still going to
1.0
see,
even
like,
drops, right?
yeah, are we going to see this vampiric type funding style still, even though they drop a game that I'm thinking is probably going to be pretty successful just because of the fact that
I
they
hope so.
have, yeah, I mean, think about it. They got, what's his name from Star Wars over there? You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
freaking the nerd community is gonna hate me for saying that. What's his name? I'm sorry, my brain. Yeah, he doesn't know who he is.
So I'm just looking at this, and they bring up. I'm gonna pretty much like TLDR. Excuse me. So how games slowly self sabotage. Excuse me. So they compromise gameplay, kill long-term engagement, undermine competition, and destroy the sense of accomplishment. Player, players will no longer invest because they're proud
Long
of their
camel, thank you.
progress. They invest because they're trying to escape a frustrating system. Retention drops among players when casuals and veterans feel sidelined by paying players. Community trust erodes. And then gameplay is affected if high tier gear is easily purchasable. An in game economy loses stability, pretty much like any value for that matter, too, which I do agree with. We're already seeing a lot of this. So this person does
Yeah.
raise like a few really good points in here. And
Yeah,
then it doesn't
that
have to
last
be the
one,
way.
it's just to make a point too,
Yeah.
is the fact that it says negative perception. Star Citizen already has already faced criticism for monetization and continued trends
Yep.
toward pay to win mechanics. Yeah, and that's gonna be a huge hit to them. Because people will be like,
Mm-hmm.
see, told you there was a scam. And then the people who haven't touched it because they're waiting or whatever, they're gonna be like, wow, it really is a scam.
Too true. Then it doesn't have to be this way. Baldur's Gate achieved massive success by doing what much of the industry has neglected, putting players and storytelling first. I don't care about story personally, but some people really like it. That's cool. But making like a complete respectful experience.
It's hard to care
Um,
about storytelling in an
yeah,
MMO, honestly.
yeah.
It
I
still
mean,
leads up to
you
a
look
bunch
at
of
it.
nothing, it feels like.
It's most of the time just really shallow, especially because again, that
Yeah.
comes down to like lack of value and lack of any reason for it in the first place, right?
I
That is true. I only did all. There was one time I got all the way to level 30 in 2077 before even touching the main story. So Tula call me out there.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Is it Valkyrie? I don't know if that's true though. That this Invictus would have been solid if it weren't overshadowed by the blade. I think the blade had it was a big thing. Like it had a big cause on it, but I don't know how true that is because of what I was saying before. Is like, it doesn't feel like they have. They don't have things that people like me can buy. I don't. Not that I would really care to buy. I guess they do have stuff that I could maybe afford, but
No, but
it's
looking at like the list of like I kind of
I
actually
like
agree with Melk. I think he actually brings up like a really good point where they didn't probably need that. They could have just dropped an interest or like a very,
it leaves a
interesting
bad
enough
taste in
ship.
everyone's mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there could have been better options there.
Yeah. It was a dumb move. No other way to say it. They even knew it
Mhm.
too. Okay, so they made the
Yep.
move. The community backlash was ridiculous. What was the response? Are we you know what I mean? Like what was the response to that? Like
We
what
should
did
get to
they
that
do?
actually. So this is what they did actually. We're just gonna push right into that.
Hey,
Let me
Carl.
find it really
Welcome,
quick.
buddy. You guys should check out. Cosman drops some videos. You guys should go check him out on YouTube.
He's a good shit. He's a good guy. Let's see. Update. Feedback update. Here it is. Found it. So this is it's taking a little bit of time to load in. Let me see if I can get it working. I'll take that as nope. I'll come back to that in a second. Here it is.
Okay.
Need like the Price is Right like Dale song playing in the background, you know? Here it is. You want to read this one? You're better at reading.
Sure. Throughout Star Citizen's evolution, one fundamental. It's hard to read like that. He's like, no, what's wrong? You can't keep up. Damn. Wow. All right. One fundamental principle has remained paramount. I love this. Everything you pledge for to support. Nice. That's so good. I'm so glad you got that. Everything you pledge for to support our development will eventually be attainable through gameplay. Your contribution helps push things forward, but your time in the verse should be equally rewarded. So I love how, so he's going to get to the solution. So like he's trying to like rub our backs a little bit.
Star Citizen, baby.
We're pushing 11 patches this year instead of 4. Okay, so he's basically going on and trying to be like, but look all the stuff we've been doing for you guys. We're crushing more bugs than ever, building more exciting content. I only hear people complain about the bugs, and we still don't have bounty hunting. Moving faster than ever to make the persistent universe a better experience for everyone. And in moving that fast, we missed a step. Okay, all right, scroll down a little bit. To be clear, the new flight blades will be obtainable for AOEC in our next patch. I still got it this June. We followed our usual approach by offering early access to the pledge store to help support development. But after some reflection, this is good. After some reflection,
we had pledge store remote.
It's like one of those things. Like, let's be real, right? So it's not like reflecting on the fact that I did something wrong. It's like I'm reflecting on the fact that I got caught, right?
That's what it sounds like. So
yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Does this feel like they're actually like taking responsibility, or does it feel like it's just damage control?
It's damage control. I mean, obviously it's damage control.
That's what it feels like.
100%. And it's like, yeah, it's well, okay, what's the solution, right? What's the solution? So after some self-reflection, we decided that for smaller components like flight blades and bomb racks, they should be available in game at the same time they appear on the store. And people will buy them. See, if they would have done that to begin with, people would buy it if they liked it anyway. Because I've bought things I didn't need to buy, right? Because it was like, okay, I like it and I want to make sure I always have access to it. So it would have actually probably done better for them to do that, right? So the choice has and should always be yours, all right? If you want to support the project early, you can, but it's not required, blah, 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 blah. So right here, you'll be able to pick these up with in-game currency on our next monthly patch. So it's not available yet. So
not yet.
So
but in June is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah. So when does summer start? When does summer start? When is summer?
Like
because it sounds to me like the original announcement.
Is it like a real world summer, or is it a CIG summer?
Well,
CIG summer means it's like July, or like their marketing, time, right? On their schedule. Also, do you want to check
but just let me make the point though. It sounds to me like they haven't actually reflected and changed anything, because they originally announced that it would be available in summer anyway. So on the next monthly patch being in summer, then they'll release it for everyone. So as if they can't do it now. So
yeah,
summer equals CIG, summer equals December.
Okay,
wait,
so
what's this? Have Elder? No. What? All right, go ahead.
Have Elder? No, what? Wait.
Let's not read it. Let's not read it.
Sure.
What were you saying?
So, this is kind of a closing question. I don't want to like drag this on too long, because I don't know. There's only so much you can do looking at this and just come off as complaining. What maybe constructive feedback would you give to CIG from this whole situation? From
me,
you. Yeah, I know.
You want my no. I can obviously be fair. I mean, yeah, I think I just basically said it. Like, I think, okay, I'm going to give an example. The game that I've been playing, right? The VR game I've been playing. they just released their first
What is
downloadable
that? Okay.
content. I've been playing VR Talk Off
Where have you been playing that? Just
contractors
curious.
on my Twitch
On your
every
Twitch page?
day except
People should
for
go check out.
yeah. It's Elder Relic 388.
Mhm.
Anyway, so
I'll plug it.
listen though. So they had just released downloadable content, or yeah, that you can purchase right for the first time. A bunch of people bought it because they've been doing such a bang up job on the game that they really just want to support it. And it gives you like some cool stuff, but nothing like that I would buy if they weren't doing a great job. So that being said,
Yeah.
if you continue to deliver and show the community like that you are delivering, right, you do a great job, and then you were to do something like release it on the store and in game, right, which it's basically says like, hey, we want you guys to be able to have the option to support us, but you don't have to, right? That I think would just make a huge difference on the overall tone. If they would have did that to begin with, there wouldn't be freaking articles from like PC whatever talking about how
Mhm.
see it's a scam. Right now, everyone's talking about it. I've been getting my YouTube went crazy over how
You know
they pay to win.
how you like attain that is by creating a product that's worth someone's time. And
Yeah.
you get this like sense of pride when you're like looking at like you were just talking about contractors. You're thinking to yourself, I like this game. This is why I'm not playing Star Citizen, because I found something I'm passionate about, I really enjoy, right?
Mhm.
And it makes sense. Like if there's a game that isn't getting, like it's got the funding for a larger project, but it doesn't have the appeal of it right now because it's buggy as hell. It's a lot better than it used to be, but it still has a lot of issues. Like
Yeah.
right now, I get bored of it because player bounties. I really like that gameplay loop. If I'm like running solo, I'm trying to
Yeah.
find people to
I'm
hunt
so
down like that.
disappointed, man. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I was looking
They
forward to
need to
doing
create.
some bounty hunting.
Yeah, and that's how you like earn that like loyalty among your like player base is by doing things right. You know,
Yeah.
just not
Yeah.
resent the company, represent the company,
Well,
and the
I think a lot of
its endorsement.
people listen. The game, the overall vision's great. Obviously, like the visuals are amazing. Um,
Yeah,
People have been supporting it for what they want it to be, but not what it is. But like the more time goes on, it's like the more it just feels like, hey, we got to get as much money. And I mean, and I've said this before. You said it before. The they obviously running the game based on what the marketing teams tell them to do. I mean,
yeah. Just look at the fucking
it's backwards.
monetized events and everything
It's
else. It is very
yeah,
backwards.
it should be the marketing team says, what are you guys doing so we know what to market. But it
Mhm.
feels to me like what's happening is marketing team is saying this is what you should do and we'll market it. Does that make sense?
And that's why like every time that you see like a new update or something being pushed, a lot of it is just so tone deaf to what's actually happening within the game itself.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like
Yeah.
there is that disconnect. You can feel it. You can see it all the
Yeah.
fucking time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know.
They do need an identity, by the way. Yeah, you're right.
What's that?
Seems short-sighted in my opinion. Well, Riker said they need to give SC an identity. Will this be a game of progression with things you must do, or a sandbox
Legally
of
blind.
things you can do? What would I miss? Tone deaf, bro. They are legally
Reading
blind at
reading
this
a
point.
Tumblr.
Yeah, yeah. I like Tumblr. We need to get him on again.
I love that guy. He's so much fun to chat with
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
he's
yeah, for real.
outspoken, but for like the best reasons. He knows what the hell he's talking about. He'll
Yeah,
be like, "No, I don't. What are you talking about? You're gonna
for sure.
get fucking banned or something if you
Wait a minute.
let me on
Is
the
he
show."
wearing Raymond Department? Is Raymond Department still exist? I'm not even taking a shot. I'm being serious. Like, are they still? I left all
Not
discords. Oh, pretty much. Are they still a thing?
as much as PAX is right now. Yeah.
Who? Sorry.
I
All
don't know.
right, I'm done. I'm
No
done.
comment. No, no, no.
OPSEC.
Yeah. OPSEC. He's an OPSEC these days.
Yeah. Oh wait, it is OPSEC. There is an OPSEC.
There's an
Anyway.
OPSEC. Actual
Okay.
kind of. Okay.
Kind of.
So I mean that pretty much covers everything that I want to like say. So if you had like any additional thoughts there, Elder, by all means, we could take
Grim
callers too if
40
you
who?
want, but it's up to you. Grim 40 who? No. Grim 40 Who is actually 388 because it is former Who and former Grim. So
yeah, isn't that ironic? It's
it's
just so
funny
you know, it is funny that it was a joke for a while that it was called Grim. People would make fun of us, call us Grim 40 Who, and then we came together with River and stuff, right? Worked with some of the Who guys, and Grim and came together with Who and created an AUG. It's awesome. That's great.
It's a fun group too. So always a blast. So if you guys want to check out like really like fun gameplay and shit like that, go check out 388 Discord. Self plug, yeah. But yeah, I have one question only. One question. Let's hear it. If you guys have any questions, before we wrap it up, is Noah not there? Yes, he is.
He is. Come. Why don't you come hang out, bruh?
Yeah, he was in Discord this morning. I had like a ton of errands. Ben's a real org.
It's real. All right.
All right. Okay. I think we'll wrap it up there then, Elder. Unless we have like any kind of callers, which honestly we hit our time limit. So we will end it there. Again, I think the big thing is just CIG needs to like prioritize yes, funding, but also gameplay value at the same time. Like the gameplay integrity and how much a lot of that has no meaning now because you can just shortcut everything by picking up these like game mechanics or whatever the fuck you want to say. You know what I mean? Like you can just buy it instead of actually having to play the game. But if you want like people to play your game, you need to make sure that it's like valuable gameplay in the first place, you know? So that's just
what was I going to say though? I'm not against. I just want to say this. I'm not against them giving people the ability to spend money, and it will give them a little time advantage, as long as the people who are willing to grind still have the ability to grind. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you presented a product that was, how to say it, appealing enough where you didn't have to do that, it would pretty much sell itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm glad they did some self-reflection, and now they're going to release the things in game the same time they originally were going to release things in game. I'm glad that but at least moving forward, that will change, right? And I really think that should be a valuable lesson for them, and that they should continue doing things that way. Let's give people. I'll give an example. What was it, Urkel? The guy who was running Urkel was gonna wrap it up because he couldn't afford to do it anymore, and it was taking a lot of his time. And people donated because they didn't want to lose Urkel. They wanted to support what he was doing. You know what I mean? Like people want to support the projects, the people who are really putting in the honest work into it, and they believe in what they're doing. So, I'm sorry. Are you in the middle of something? Did it? What's going on? What's happening?
I don't know what's going on. He told me to click on something.
Calamity, I was saying that we weren't taking calls today, buddy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I just sent you a message.
They added this?
What
the hell is this?
That's
from Con 42.
Wait, what is that?
This is like a different like location? Is it like a new system? Vega system. Oh boy.
Interesting.
All right. Interesting. Let's go back to the main screen. I'll
look into
this a little bit
he
more.
says scam pub. Shut up. Okay. Bruh. We're not asking for donations, but if you're willing to give some, feel free.
So with that being said, no donations, no subscriptions, nothing like that is required. But just want to say thank you everybody for supporting us on tonight's episode. Really appreciate it. Because just coming in here is all we really need, and really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So also just keep in mind this episode will also be available on YouTube later this week. So go check it out at that link, and then make sure you click the subscribe button. And then just want to say have a great week, guys. We didn't do any you have a better closing statement?
No, I don't. I couldn't think of anything stupid. I mean, I thought of plenty of stupid things that didn't make any sense, so I'm just gonna not do it.
We're gonna go find someone to raid. We'll talk in chat, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care.
Have a good night, guys. Where am I going here?